Hey guys, so Hexworks released an update 1.016 in preparation for patch version 1.1.310, and it includes over 100 fixes and improvements. The best news of all, it's not a bunch of balancing, and it's actual fixes, bug fixes, and improvements made to the base game and to playability. Today's update includes the first inventory expansion pass, a full revamp of the Sundered Monarch boss encounter, online functionality for the Steam Deck, and further HDR improvements. Also, it's confirmed that the key quest items will no longer be affected by inventory limitations. Where inventory is concerned, key quest items and unique items are going to be picked up regardless of whether the inventory is full, exceeding the previous limit as necessary. The stash expansion will be coming later, but this is a step in the right direction. HDR is being improved to expand the variety of colors, and there was a previous bug where Steam Deck would crash whenever the Scarlet Shadow appeared, and now they have resolved that, and Valve's drivers should automatically update when you start the game. A crash at the Shrine of Aureus when you switch to offline mode was fixed, and there was a crash that could occur when quitting to the main menu while in multiplayer, and that's also been resolved. The bug that blocked people from finishing the game with the Umbral ending has also been fixed. They've optimized performance in several parts of the map by addressing certain problems that were in each part of the map, like collision when you're in Castle Brahmas and shadow when you're in Skyrest, by reducing the cast shadow without reducing the visual quality. But I've been to Skyrest since the update, and it's not the case, but I've not been to Upper Colrath or to Castle Brahmas, and hopefully what they've made as far as performance optimization will be the real deal. There was also a bug in PvP that allowed players to escape through the fog wall during the Crimson Ritual that has been resolved. The Crimson Ritual now has music to add to the tension of PvP. There is an improved user interface for finishing the Crimson Rituals, and added additional descriptions for failed connections for Crimson Rituals. I'm not exactly sure what this means. Maybe it's going to give you feedback as to whether the person quit out of the game, if they had a game crash or some other connection failure, so you can resolve the issue if it is something on your end. Or maybe so you can send an accurate bug report. They've also done a lot of PvE focused balancing, which I think has been needed because the game is a little bit easy from the PvE standpoint, and the boss difficulty does need to be ramped up quite a bit in this game. We'll be getting to the bosses later, but as far as balancing the PvE focused, stomping on drowners, hounds, and sparrows now instantly kills them. The braided ring, where you are allowed more ranged attacks before disappearing when you're summoned. The ring used to add +5, but now it adds +10 with the new change. The Pendant of Atrophy, Umbral sorceries can be cast with insufficient mana, but at the cost of wither damage. It now deals more wither damage, and it has a slower increase in health whenever you do damage. The Umbral Eye of Loash, while charging a heavy attack, all damage received is wither damage, and your posture cannot be broken. Equipping this eyeball now also reduces your wither health regain rate when you deal damage. Umbral Eye of Lydia, the Numb Witch, use ranged weapons without ammunition but at the cost of withered health. Equipping the amulet now also reduces your wither health regain rate when you deal damage. So that seems to be the pattern with all the Umbral Eyes. Your rate of regained health is going to be lower. Hurt reactions sometimes triggered in the wrong direction, and this is now fixed in PvE. Now on to the bosses. With the trio in the dark spot, waits more diligently for the player to be in the exact arena space before triggering the whole combat. The Sundered Monarch boss has received a full revamp as a result to make it more challenging. This is achieved without tweaking his HP or damage output. It's just a pure behavioral upgrade to make it tougher, which is awesome because to be the next to last boss, and especially, spoiler alert, when you do the Radiance ending, where the boss is essentially Deacons of the Deep and is not challenging, it is a very big letdown for the end game to have 2 easy bosses, one right after the other. So that is great news. They improved the hit boxes to improve throwables against bosses like Dervla, Sundered Monarch, Light Reaper, Cleric, Hush Saint, Reinhold, and the Spurned Progeny. They enhanced the combat camera behavior to prevent looking down when being close to a target. Light Reaper could sometimes get out of bounds in one of the encounters, leading to him leaving the fight. That has been fixed. And they adjusted trigger areas for the Skin Stealer boss to prevent the player from hitting him from a distance without his reaction. They adjusted and added leashing volumes to FIFA the Chill Curse. In the Manse of the Hallowed Brothers, they received additional leashing volumes and added new ones. Added leashing volumes for all enemies at the cistern. Also adjusted 2 triggers to account for edge cases in which enemies would be unresponsive if you traverse the level backward. There's also several more bug fixes, several more optimizations throughout several parts of the map where it comes to collision, meshes, leashing. It's all good stuff, but I'm not going to read every single point by point because there are over 100 improvements here. Pretty much everything from user interface, audio, collisions, and even the umbral itself and level design have seen improvements. So this is a big step in the right direction, and it's a great update to come right before the big patch that's going to have all the added content, because these are necessary improvements that need to be worked out week by week, and seeing that they're coming soon rather than later and that we're going to have them before the next expansion is awesome. So keep the faith, keep the hope up, and keep playing the game, because I love this game and I think it's going to be a great game by the end of 2023, and it's going to be a complete game by 2024. But that's it for today, guys. Please throw me a like and a subscribe, and peace.